Well, the new book, and it's five chapters: Infinity and Eternity, 750 before Christ. Homer in Greece writes a story about the gods as follows. The chief god, Zeus, he didn't want to tell who is the most beautiful of three goddesses. Because of that, they decided that the greatest idealists between all the humans should judge. And this human was Paris. What Paris didn't know that it was something between three goddesses: Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Paris had to give a golden apple with written on it for the most beautiful one. Well, Hera promised him the biggest kingdom. Athena promised him immortality in battle. Well, and Aphrodite promised him the most beautiful woman on the planet. And it is to Aphrodite that Paris gave the golden apple, and he got a belt of irresistibility from Aphrodite, and so he became irresistible. One day, the father of Paris sent him to the king of Sparta. There he was well received, and he learned to know Helena. And Helena was the wife of the king of Sparta, and she was also the most beautiful woman on the planet. And Paris, because of his belt of irresistibility, well, they fell in love, and so Paris and Helena, they left together to Troy, the city of Troy. And well, I'm noticing something. So it's again about an apple, um, and um, in the Bible, it's 1,300, um, something like that before Christ. The Old Testament. You have the Gathas in 1323. That's the oldest human writing. And you have 1300 before Christ, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Moses, who wrote those. So that is before this story of Paris. And so, it's always about an apple, and it's, about wars. So maybe this story of Homer explains a bit about the story in the Old Testament. So um, I think in the Old Testament it's in the middle of some kind of Bronze Age, and they make weapons of bronze, but also tools for agriculture. So it was an advance in human civilization to because yeah, if you have to kill your neighbor with your bare hands, it's difficult. But I mean, with the bronze, yeah. So I think during like 2 million years, we were so empathic, so kind, and we talked and we talked and we talked. But then, yeah, we learned so much, about the stars, about food, about cooking well. So we learned so many things. And so then, when we learned so many things, yeah, we we talked, we liked each other. But then suddenly we found metal, bronze. So it's copper, and you mix tin, and tin mainly came from Afghanistan. And so once they could melt and make those bronze objects, well, what were those bronze objects? Well, certainly no iPhones. Um, they were more like, yeah, uh, swords, weapons, shields. Um, so the whole stuff an army needs. So they invented armies, but they had also, I know, the rise of human population. It started with, in quantity, started with agriculture, and that was about 10,000 before Christ. So you see it happening. Eh? Why is agriculture there? Probably because you need metal, bronze tools to to work on a field. You're not gonna make a field with your bare hands. So irrigation canals, channels, all these things. Well, and just yeah, working on the field. And then they invented, yeah, the tools to fight. But then I think there was too much fighting, and they really wanted to stop fighting. And but then why do they always have something with apples? Apples. Then always with women, and well, the most beautiful one, and this and that, and yeah. So we see. Well, the I think the family concept. They always had the empathy. They liked each other. They could continue doing so, but against other tribes, you might start to feel, even if you're a very empathetic person, well, if they killed your family and this and that and took your property, maybe some people started to feel like we want to make war. And I think maybe women were one of the reason to make war if they steal your woman, something like that. So okay, so Paris did steal Helena, the most beautiful woman on the planet, and they left to Troy. And of course, the husband of Paris, he didn't agree at all. Um, so, well, he wanted to go to war, the king of Sparta, um, but he was asking himself, is it really necessary that I do this, or do I just accept that I lost my wife? Or do I really need to go to war? Is it going to solve anything? So he was doubtful. But then the goddess Athena, she is the goddess of wisdom, she came by night telling him that his empire was worth nothing if he could not subject the city of Troy. So, together with the other kings of Greece, the king of Sparta decided to go on a campaign to Troy to get Helena back and to destroy Troy. Ah, what an exciting story. But the walls of Troy, they were invincible. Invincible. Because they were built by the gods themselves. Yeah. After years of fighting, and something like World War II or something, they decided to use a trick to conquer Troy. Well, they they faked that they were leaving. They spread the news, go load everything onto the ships, and leave. But they left a wooden horse on the beach, a big 20-meter high wooden horse. And inside the horse were, of course, the soldiers. And well, for some kind of reason, they thought that they should bring the horse into the city, the Trojans, and well, they thought the war is over, and so they started drinking and getting drunk, and yeah, and then of course, yeah, the soldiers left the horse, but now they were inside the city, so they could open the city gates from the inside at night, and then suddenly all those Greek soldiers who well, were supposed to be going back home, they suddenly came back to Troy at night and invaded the city and conquered Troy. So, okay, 550, 540 before Christ. Parmenides, he lived in Italy, south of Naples, and in a Greek colony. And so they start to attack the old Greek religion. Well, it seems Homer, he gives, he says the gods do all kind of things like stealing, cheating, adultery. And well, yeah, it's not according to the Bible, eh? And the Bible is like 500 years older than this. So this behavior is totally inappropriate for a god. And in a poem, Parmenides, he describes how he goes um, through the empire of the night on a voyage to the land of a goddess, in the land of light and truth. What a land! The land of light and truth. No fake news. It's a land of light and truth. Well, wisdom and smart and all these things, they are um, unchangeable. They are yeah, keepers. They always remain there. The truth, it never changes, and they are above our senses, because our senses, they are a source of stupidity and errors, and yeah, well, because yeah, like black people, they make their gods black and with a flat nose, while Thracians, they give them blue eyes. And well, in reality, people will never know something about the gods, but the gods, they are there, and they are always there. So yeah, you see. And then 539, Cyrus was the first king of a Persian empire. Well, and so he conquered, but he didn't kill and he didn't destroy. Um, they find a cylinder explaining this near the city of Babylon. The cylinder was 539 before Christ, with a text that Cyrus has won, but he respected the local gods, and he restores the temples. So something good. Yeah, you feel it coming. Well, and a little bit later, yeah, you get this guy, Plato. Well, so much more I can explain about all these things. But so the new book now has over, well, 200 pages, much more, 220, even more. Um, well, it's not the final version to print and send to people I know who know me, because there are still spelling errors. But now I did a spelling check. Um, well, not many. Um, but well, yeah, we will see. It's good. So you have that. I explain it over and over again, the story. So that I already had, and then I do it one more time. Do it 4 times. Big bang, and then with all the bronze, they started to work on fields. Oh. So yeah, today um, I have to write a new contract for catering. Um, Came viewing on Monday, um, and so by the end of the week, well, they didn't say we take it or whatever, but yeah, they just want it. And so um, I'm busy with that. And tonight I'm gonna sign a contract with Naomi, and so for an apartment.